Okay, so now I'm going to get into some of our new features. So let's go back over to here. And now what I do here, I modded this a bit. I put the image into it, the CEO's image. I put the JS image into it. And then I click Save My Mod, and that saved it. But everything else I've been working on here, you know, is that going to disappear? Well, no, because we have autosave. And so when I come back, all my work's still there. It's actually, I can go on the autosaves tab right here and see these time-stamped autosaves for what my changes are. I can restore back in time to see them again. And this gets pruned so there's not a lot of autosaves. We keep more that are more recent and get less and less as they get further away. Uh, Now, so this brings up an important concept and something that we want feedback on because we think it's a bit tricky, and that's dev mode. So you see up here that when I originally saved my Modit, it took me to a URL with its Modit key and then /dev. So that's if I'm the owner and I go to /dev, I see my latest autosave changes, right? And just to be explicit about how that's working, we can open up the autosave and we see that as I'm typing in mouse.js, this is a change. You can see that I could click save my changes, but after a few seconds not doing anything, they get auto-saved, and that's private to me as the owner. No one can see that unless they're logged in as me. If I want to see the way other people are experiencing this, I can get rid of the /dev, and it'll tell me, hey, you're the owner, maybe you want to see dev mode, but you see that right now my save changes, not my auto-save changes, but just what got saved last is what I can see. And so it's just the image and that, but I don't have the mustache. And if I go into code and open up mouse.js, we don't see my comment. But if I click dev mode, now it pulls my autosave changes. So that's a way to see what's a user who's not going to see when they come to the Modit, but also lets you make changes to your Modit that might be published or out there or people using it without breaking things for anyone as you make them. Now, if you want to release those changes to everyone else, that's what update's for. I can just click update, add a little message, added mustache for demo. That's not how you spell mustache, I guess. Yes, it is. And now what I just did is create a revision. I can go into my revisions tab, and even as the owner, or if I'm not the owner, I can go to it from the info tab and see that added mustache to demo, and here's the initial commit. And I can actually restore. I can go back to revision 0 or forward to revision 1 from that. And as the owner, when I do that, actually it's not auto-saving that change when I go back to revision 0 so that I'm not, my in progress, my autosave isn't overwritten. I'm able to just look at that. It won't autosave until I make an edit or click save my changes up here. So another thing that's great, so let's restore back to revision 1. I've got this, is you can compare revisions against each other. Again, you can do this as the owner or not, and I can just click compare on revision 0, and that's going to compare my current working code against revision 0. I get a list of changes down here. I can see that I made an image edit and exactly what it is. I can see that I negated gravity, and I can see that I add this comment to mouse.js. I can also, if I'm the owner, revert these changes. I can change back. I can merge in things from these other revisions. So if I want to just take this one little chunk, I can click here, and now that's my real code over here. That's updated. That has been, I've undone that change. I pulled it in from and made it like revision 0. I can hit Control Z to undo that. Over here, I can also just accept the change of the image, or I can undo that. I can accept all changes or undo all changes as well. And as I said, that's actually changing my real code. So if I accept this change, I'm like, look, I didn't like that mustache. Let's go back to that. I can close this. I can refresh, and I'll see that I still have my change in mouse.js, my comment, and gravity is still a negative, but I don't have the mustache anymore. So as a non-owner, it's sort of an interesting way to go and look and say, oh, how did this get made, right? And as an owner, it's this necessary part of wanting to go back, wanting to, before you publish something, see what all your changes are. That's a big workflow. You can just come in here. You've got a bunch of auto saves, and if I make a change here, This is only auto-saved. I can compare against my last saved revision and see exactly what got changed. Well, I undid the mustache change and I added these lines and this comment. And if I'm like, oh crap, I left in that comment, I didn't want to do that, I can do that right before I update, and now I can just update and say, took out that dumb properly spelled mustache. And I've created another revision. One other thing that we added is the find all interface. So if I want to see where the mouse class is used, I can just type mouse in there. It'll find it across files. So in view.js, I click there, it gets highlighted. There's just something that says is mouse down. Here is where I'm actually instantiating the mouse class in view.js. Here's another thing, replay button, mouse over, and I get this nice list of results. I can also do a replace mice, and I can do replace all, or I can do individual replacing. All right, well, that's the overview. Those are the new features. We're looking for feedback, as always. We want to build a great community of creative hackers making cool stuff, changing the world. So on the help menu, you can post on the Modit Reddit. We want to hear bug reports, rants, raves, feature requests, just shout it out so other people can see it and get help with the same thing if they need it. We also, if you post something on Stack Overflow with a link to a Modit that's just more of a general JavaScript question, we want to help you guys with game design and just getting your creativity out there and making it happen and learning and exploring. So we'll look for those and try and answer those as well. You can also always email us directly, but don't be shy. Someone else might have the same problem. Let's get in a good discussion. You might make a friend, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening and happy modding.